is planning to effect leadership changes in parliamentary committees in the near future.
Country waits for the courts to give a determination on whether or not Rigathi Gachagua would be removed as the deputy president. It appears that he is swimming in a political bloodbath, even from his party UDA. On Tuesday, Party Secretary General Hassan Omar announced that in a matter of time, Gachagua would be removed from being the deputy party leader if the court accepts to the plea to lift conservatory orders that have stopped Professor Kithure Kindiki from being sworn in as the deputy president.
I think once the process in the national, in courts has been concluded, I think it is only suffice to say that we will sit down as a party and only ensure that we now replace the party leader with the new deputy, the deputy party leader with the new deputy president. And I am confident that will be in favor of Kithure Kindiki.
Legal counsels from both Gachagua and the government today mounted a spirited battle before a three-judge bench during the hearing, with Gachagua staring at serious political ramifications should the court not favor him.
Once you are not deputy president of Kenya, it will be difficult for you to continue being the deputy party leader. It was intended that the deputy party leader is the deputy president of the republic, and that's why we were even amending the constitution to allow only one deputy party leader and two assistant deputy party leaders.
In his statement, Omar also gave a strong indication that when Parliament resumes from recess, there are high chances of the party effecting changes in parliamentary committees' leadership, with Gachagua's allies chairing various committees seen as the targets.
If you are a committee chair, there is a majority opinion that will carry the day. And I think by and large, the BBG, the broad-based government, has sufficient numbers. Even if you are chair and do not go with the majority, you will be outvoted.
And the parties under what we call Political Parties Act has powers to whip members. And these powers are also within the corridors of the parliament. And therefore, if any such a decision is arrived by the party, who am I to say no?
Omar further dismissed the narrative that Gachagua's removal was an attack to the Mount Kenya region, saying that President William Ruto's government would work with Mount Kenya leaders who support government projects and policies.
It is the mandate of the committee members to either have no confidence with you under a letter and a signature, appending their signatures. But when the party thinks that they want to override, then they are superpower and they can still move ahead and take their desire.
Kama mtu ameambiwa kuna vita na mlima, ama mtu wa mlima amefikiria kuna vita na wao ama sisi tunapigana, basi amejishawishi ama amejihadaa kwa namna zake. We are only dealing with a problem ambayo ilikuwa imedhiri. Nyote mnaishi ndani ya hii Kenya, mumeona vile ilivyokuwa akiendesha siasa.
Kimani Ngunjiri reporting for K24, Nairobi.
Kenya Private Sector Alliance has warned that the country may fall short of its revenue collection targets next year unless it adopts reforms to boost local manufacturing and business. KEPSA Chairman Jas Bedi, who addressed the ongoing retreat of the National Assembly in Naivasha, says Kenya is struggling to establish itself as a manufacturing hub in the region. Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, however, revealed that the Assembly is working on 3 bills that will enhance fair business competitiveness to encourage foreign direct investment and deal with corruption.
Assembly's leadership, led by Speaker Moses Wetangula, held a roundtable meeting with the Kenya Private Sector Alliance in day 2 of their retreat in Naivasha. KEPSA was unequivocal about Kenya's position in the manufacturing sector.
A country next door to us, Uganda, their manufacturing contribution to GDP is 16.2%. They are the only East African country who's got double-digit growth in manufacturing. So there's something we're not doing right, and there's something that we need to correct. And if we can correct that, I think we can regain that glory of 20 by 30, that target that KM has got, we can deliver that target.
KEPSA Chairman Jas Bedi says Kenya has very little to write home about the sector in the region compared to neighbors like Uganda. According to KEPSA, the business environment has not been good for local manufacturing, which has prompted relocation of some investors to other countries.
We need to look at the drivers of competitiveness, and there are only 5 drivers of competitiveness. That if we don't do this right, and we don't get this right, we might start seeing relocation of industry, and we've already seen some relocation of industry into our neighborhood. And because of the East African Common Market agreement that we have, I can produce in Kampala and sell back in Nairobi at half my price, at quarter my price. Why would I produce in this country? So we need to start thinking competitiveness and global competitiveness.
It's a position that Majority Leader in the National Assembly agrees with.
And Chair, you spoke about Uganda's manufacturing contribution to the GDP of Uganda at 15.6% as of 2023, whereas we are struggling to move ours to 7%.
What we are witnessing in Kenya are high tax rates, poor infrastructure and high cost of power, which have led to vast shutting or scaling down of businesses and massive job losses.
The chairman says even the Kenya Revenue Authority targets are due to fall short next year.
Oh, next year we'll collect another 200 billion. I don't think they'll collect another 200 billion to make it 2.4 trillion. I think they'll go down by 200 billion. They'll collect 2 trillion. And I'll give you the reason why. They collected 2.2 trillion because the dollar was 160 shilling. You rejig those models and say the dollar is 129, they will lose 200 billion.
To address some of these challenges, Speaker Wetangula says the National Assembly has proposed legislations that will act as key catalyst for the economic advancement of the country.
As I end, I also want to encourage you. Protection is good, and we will protect you through the law. But Parliament will also not protect mediocrity. And I'm sure you know that. Because Kenyan consumers are ready to pay more for better products from elsewhere than pay less for inferior products made by ourselves.
The proposed legislations include Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Amendment Bill of 2024, the Conflict of Interest Bill 2024, and the Whistleblower Protection Bill of 2023. Timothy Simwa, K24 TV.
Well, let's now have a look at some business news. The strength of the Kenyan shilling for the most part of the year significantly reduced Kenya Power and Lightning Company's finance costs, enabling the utility firm to record a profit after tax of 30.08 billion by June 2024. While announcing the full year 2023-2024 financial results, Kenya Power's Managing Director and CEO, Engineer Joseph Siror, said that for the first time in 7 years, Kenya Power is set to pay dividends to its shareholders. Linda Koskei with more.
The cost of electricity remains high for most households in Kenya, but even with that, new customers connected to the grid increased during this year, as well as increased economic activities, particularly in the manufacturing sector.
In terms of profitability, highlights our profit before tax rose to 43.6 billion and after tax 30.5. If you look at the main drivers, ladies and gentlemen, it was a reduction in finance costs. If you look at the figures, the electricity sales grew by 2.76%. That is 10,516, and then the commercial, that is in the commercial and industrial categories, as well as domestic customers.
These boosted Kenya Power's profits, converting 4.3 billion shillings loss into 43.67 billion shillings profit before tax.
Then there was 21% increase, or that is in terms of revenue, from 190 billion to 231 billion.
Kenya Power Managing Director Joseph Siror says the strengthening of the shilling against major global currencies was another key driver of this year's growth. The gain was due to appreciation of the Kenyan shilling against the US dollar and euro, both of which represent approximately 90% of the company's loan portfolio. The power purchase cost increased from 143.58 billion shillings the previous year to 150.61 billion shillings.
Connected, or we have 447,251 new customers connected to the grid. And this is some of what has even assisted us to increase our our revenues.
During the announcement of the financial year results, Energy Principal Secretary Alex Wachira stated that KPLC will, for the first time in over 7 years, issue dividends to its shareholders. Linda Koskei, K24 TV.
Well, moving on to other updates, Color PR has launched Color Precision, a digital marketplace designed to connect businesses to their markets in Africa from anywhere in the world through access to vendors offering critical communications and key business support services to help them grow their businesses. The platform caters to businesses of all sizes across various sectors, including banking and finance. Services on the platform include communications and PR services, a news wire service, creative and design services, production events, management, brand strategy, digital marketing, advertising, data and analytics, business-to-business matching, as well as experiential marketing.
Every possible vendor that provides a specific skill or service to ensure that business processes involving businesses are seamlessly done. The solution will be able to create businesses directly to their customers, and we've onboarded thousands, not just in Kenya because it's web-based, so we are piloting it, or rather releasing it to the market in different countries, Zambia, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria, all at the same time. We are helping vendors to access millions of customers.
And the fact that it is Kenyan owned, it's a proudly Kenyan and African owned business. That especially, that innovation is no longer being imported, it is now being exported.
And I think this is going to be a game changer, really, truly. When you need data, information at the click of a button, looking at that dashboard, I just asked myself, this should have been like 5-10 years ago.
A business that does not have a data strategy is definitely not looking forward to win or succeed. This, what we see here today in data, it represents both a massive opportunity and a massive challenge. On one hand, data can give businesses invaluable insights about the nature and behavior of their customers and stakeholders as well.
Listed local financial solutions provider HF Group has received regulatory approval from the Capital Markets Authority to raise up to 6 billion shillings through a rights issue transaction. Robert Kibara, the group's CEO, noted that the capital investment marks a pivotal milestone in HF Group's ongoing transformation journey, reinforcing their dedication to delivering long-term value to stakeholders. The approved rights issue will offer up to 1.4 million new ordinary shares at a price of 4 shillings per share. The rights issue is structured to offer shareholders 2 new ordinary shares for every 1 existing ordinary share held, with the shareholders having the option to apply for additional shares. In addition, a green shoe option of up to 30% has been approved to accommodate any potential oversubscription. Moving on, the East African Business Council has successfully trained over 50 small and medium-sized enterprises in partnership with the Team Europe Technical Assistance Facility to support the FTA and continental economic integration. The training aimed to enhance understanding of the African continental free trade area and covered critical elements such as the Guided Trade Initiative, the FTA Adjustment Fund, and strategies for value chain integration, marking a significant step towards economic integration in Africa. In his remarks, Geoffrey Kamanzi, Trade in Services Manager at EABC, noted that Kenya's imports of goods from Africa reached $1.9 billion. At the same time, exports were $3.1 billion in 2023 compared to $2.29 billion in imports and $3 billion in exports in 2022.
Have you watched K24?